These are confessions that constrict the heart. Every silent word morphing into a heavy mountain, becoming increasingly oppressive as time flows onward. Today signifies the moment I reveal the profound anguish that has shrouded my spirit. The concealed reality that has taken residence within the core of my being. At 62, I was unexpectedly swept away by an experience that ignited a passion within me, making me feel more vibrantly alive than I ever thought possible. Arriving at the most unforeseen moment. On that fateful morning, the patio's watering system had once more decided to turn against us. The broken nozzles in my tumultuous rituals murmured of a life ensnared in an enticing cycle, each instant reverberating with the previous one, infused with a touch of seduction, solitude, murmurs, and the rhythm of routine. Since the passing of my beloved, whenever a delicate matter in the garden called for attention, I found myself seeking assistance from others. In a twist of destiny, I chose a gardener from the telephone directory, an unforeseen decision that whispered of the enchantment found in serendipitous meetings. Leo, the vibrant voice on the other end of the line, carried a compelling depth and confidence. I could depart at this very instant, he whispered, a playful glint dancing in his tone. His voice possessed an enchanting quality, an ineffable allure that ignited a deep sense of intrigue within me. I made a concerted effort to direct my attention away. In the end, it was simply a question of the nozzles, a minor glitch in an otherwise captivating experience. As the bell resonated through the air, a remarkable transformation began to take shape. Upon opening the door, I was met by a young man whose vibrant energy instantly dispelled the monotony that had enveloped my life. Leo allowed the toolbox to fall from his shoulder, the sound of its impact resonating gently as it touched the floor at the entrance. "Is the patio located this way?" Julia asked, her tone tinged with curiosity. For a brief instant, I halted, my hand suspended in the air as I pondered the enticing path that lay before me. "Indeed, yes, just beyond that threshold. Should you desire to join the select group that unveils these captivating secrets, do subscribe and make certain your notifications are turned on. Remain with the video until its conclusion, for it guarantees an enchanting twist of the unusual." I guided him toward the entrance of the garden. The young man's commanding presence elegantly filled the narrow hallway. His athletic physique was evident beneath his shirt. In that instant, I felt a spark of curiosity, my focus captivated by him. It felt like an eternity since I had beheld such an enchanting presence. I found myself lingering on the sight before me, entranced for a moment longer than I had intended. Upon entering the patio, he carried an air of confidence that suggested he was not just there to fix a nozzle, but to unveil a long hidden doorway, stirring the mysteries of yesteryear. "Could this be the nozzle?" he asked, his eyes resting on the elegant vintage accessory that was positioned artfully on the floor. "Ah, indeed," I murmured gently, what stirred within me, causing my heart to race with such fervent anticipation? This was simply an endeavor of renewal. Even as memories of the past wove through my mind, my heart boldly longed to create a story uniquely its own. Leo knelt with elegance, his silhouette highlighted as he examined the elaborate network of pipes. With every delicate shift, the definition of his muscles grew increasingly evident, and I observed, nearly gasping, that he was holding his breath, immersed in the moment, unaware of it all. "It's quite an old-fashioned system," he whispered, his fingers tracing the pipes with a familiar tenderness. "However, we can rectify this, it might take a few hours." His calm and confident tone took me by surprise. It had been a long time since I met someone so vibrant and so self-assured in their allure. Maybe that wasn't the real problem after all, perhaps it was that fleeting feeling, long suppressed, starting to stir again. As I pondered my exit from the patio, Leo abruptly pivoted, his eyes meeting mine with a fervor that ignited a rush within me. "May I take a towel from that location?" he asked, pointing to a gentle stream in the garden. I raised my hand to my face, warmth flooding my cheeks. "Without a doubt," I responded, my enthusiasm barely contained. With a surge of anticipation coursing through me, I extended my hand toward the closet door, my fingers quivering as I gradually drew it open. As I offered him the towel, our fingers grazed against each other, igniting a fleeting yet palpable stir within me. In that ephemeral instant, I grasped that this transcended a simple act of renewal. The brief silence that surrounded us seemed heavy with the unexpressed longings of many moments we had eagerly awaited. "Thank you," he murmured, redirecting his focus to the tasks at hand. That brief look in his eyes sent a shiver through me, leaving me completely entranced. My thoughts lingered, swirling at the precipice of longing. Was it simply a momentary spark? Or had this young man awakened a deep-seated desire within me? One that had remained silent for years? As Leo knelt to adjust the nozzle, I wandered elegantly around the patio, relishing the experience. My hands lingered, caught in a delicate balance between the urge to assist and the need to pause and contemplate the significance of the moment. The silence in the room wrapped around me, but it was his very presence that constricted my heart, rendering me breathless. My eyes continually drifted in his direction, captivated by an unquenchable desire. His youthful spirit, the vibrant energy that emanated from him, and the fervent dedication he invested in his craft stirred within me a sense of nostalgia and a revitalized energy, evoking emotions I hadn't experienced in years. Compelled to voice my thoughts, it felt as though the atmosphere itself insisted upon it. It struck me that there are few young gardeners, my observation lingering in the atmosphere, perhaps a shade too forthright. "For how long have you been savoring this enchanting adventure?" Leo halted, allowing a thoughtful gaze to drift back over his shoulder. The moment his eyes met mine, a wave of warmth coursed through me, yet I fought to dismiss it with all my might. "For 5 years, I've been deeply engaged in this," he noted, his focus returning to the matter before him, a subtle charm lacing his words. "My journey commenced as a modest apprentice, and from that point, I elegantly transitioned into the realm of entrepreneurship, shaping my own remarkable venture. My curiosity knew no bounds." "Pray tell, how many years have adorned your existence?" I asked, my tone imbued with a reverence I could hardly mask. 28, he proclaimed, his tone steady and assured. His youth caught me off guard, yet a charming excitement welled up inside me. His vibrant essence enchanted me, awakening an unforeseen attraction deep within my soul. "Ah," I whispered, striving to embellish the moment with a gentle smile. "Your age is a charming revelation. Your age is quite surprising. I would never have imagined you were 28. Your charm has evolved into an enchanting elegance." Leo paused, a glimmer of astonishment flashing across his face, as if my words had awakened a hidden part of him. Following a fleeting, captivating moment of silence, he continued with his duties, the atmosphere heavy with unvoiced anticipation. His professionalism provided a brief respite for me to gather my thoughts. Yet that teasing charm within me remained irresistibly present. "Would you like to enjoy a coffee after you've finished the repairs?" "Julia," I responded, trying to redirect the dialogue to a different topic. "I own a magnificent coffee machine that creates exquisite brews. Rumors swirl that my coffee carries an enchanting quality, drawing in those who are bold enough to partake." He paused for a heartbeat, a quiet tension weaving through his shoulders. He looked at me again, as though he were measuring the weight of the secrets hidden within our silent bond. "Thank you for the offer, but I have some pressing matters to attend to today. I must depart immediately upon completion." A trace of disappointment stirred within me, yet it was clear that Leo was steadfast in upholding a sense of propriety. Perhaps that was what made it all the more enchanting. He tackled his tasks with a passion that defied his age, exuding a refinement that enchanted everyone in his presence. As he wrapped up his day at work, I noticed him casting furtive glances my way. His hands were occupied with the instruments of his craft. Those glances held an irresistible charm, longing, fascination, and a hint of hesitation. "Finished," he declared, a playful glint in his eyes as he casually slung the toolbox over his shoulder. "The irrigation system is poised to operate seamlessly now. If any issues come up, feel free to contact me." "I shall certainly do so," I responded, my fingers grazed the doorframe, a fleeting touch as I readied myself to depart. "I appreciate your prompt resolution of the matter. It seems that is the allure of youth." He presented a faint smile, all the while preserving his calm exterior. He walked toward the door, pausing briefly, as if words were poised to escape his lips. But ultimately, he opted for silence. He offered a subtle nod before vanishing into the shadows. A bond appeared to flourish between myself and that young man. A captivating relationship that challenged the norms, leaving me in a state of ambiguity regarding its future. After what seemed like an endless stretch of time, a thrilling intensity surged through my heart, causing it to race. I found myself pondering whether this meeting was merely a matter of tending to the garden, or if this young man had entered my life to stir something profound within me. The next morning, I darted from one plant to the next, driven by a desire to satisfy a request from a Leo cheese lover in my circle. My heart pounding with excitement, the chime resonated gently, filling the air with its delicate sound. "Hello, Leo," I whispered, allowing a trace of yearning to color my voice. "It appears that the nozzle you skillfully mended is struggling again. I sincerely apologize, but would it be possible for you to come back?" Leo's demeanor was flawlessly professional, though an undercurrent of uncertainty hung in the atmosphere. "Of course, I will be bringing some spare parts with me this time, guaranteeing that we can repair it for all time. I will be there in about an hour." I conveyed my thanks, and as I concluded the call, an unforeseen wave of emotion washed over me. This time, I longed to find a harmonious blend of preparation and the captivating charm of the unexpected. As I sifted through my closet, my fingers grazed the delicate fabric of my black lace robe, a garment that murmured tales of allure and sophistication, a treasure that tantalizes the senses. I endeavored to sway my heart, but beneath the surface, I recognized the futility of my efforts. As I peered into the mirror, the sudden chime of the doorbell shattered the enchantment of my reflection. With a deep breath, I felt my heart quicken as I slowly eased the door open. Leo's eyes held mine for the slightest instant, a whisper of unexpressed emotion flitting between us before he quickly masked it with his usual demeanor. He bore a satchel filled with instruments, accompanied by several enticing lengths of pipe. "Hello," I said, attempting to maintain a nonchalant air as though it were entirely routine. "I hope I'm not disturbing your tranquility. This nozzle is quite the vexation," Leo murmured, his gaze averted as he approached the courtyard door. With a charming smile, he replied, "It's my pleasure. This time, I will repair it for all time." I followed him into the courtyard. As he leaned in to adjust the nozzle, I was entranced by the elegant fluidity of each of his movements. His hands danced with a skill that was both mesmerizing and enticing. Yet an undercurrent of tension hung in the atmosphere. "Do such encounters happen often?" "The arrangement of elements," I responded, seeking to connect the silence that lingered between us. The soft texture of my robe brushed against my skin, stirring a boldness deep within me. I find myself pondering, do the things you repair ever succumb to being shattered again? Leo responded, his eyes wandering, an air of intrigue woven into his tone. There are moments when things seem familiar, yet this instance carries a distinct weight. I have within my grasp all the components I need. How delightfully prudent you are, I responded, letting a faint smile play upon my lips. Your skills in your field are truly remarkable, particularly given your youth. As I extended my hand toward the nozzle, my fingers inadvertently brushed against his arm, creating a fleeting moment of unexpected connection. Leo was briefly captivated, yet he quickly collected himself and resumed his responsibilities. Even as he turned his eyes away, the atmosphere around us shimmered with a tension that spoke of hidden longing. I'm simply trying to carry out my responsibilities, he finally whispered, his voice lowering to a more tender, personal cadence. For an instant, the atmosphere was heavy with words left unsaid. His distant demeanor only fueled my adventurous spirit. As he leaned in to examine the pipe beneath the nozzle, my fingers brushed against his back with a delicate touch. It's a rare delight to encounter someone with such extraordinary talents, I said, my tone infused with a teasing allure. This time, Leo raised his eyes to meet mine, and the intensity of his gaze sent a shiver racing down my spine. In his gaze, a tantalizing blend of uncertainty and tension lingered, a delicate interplay of desire as he endeavored to regain control. Lucille, he whispered softly. The manner in which he spoke my name suggested a fragile equilibrium he was endeavoring to uphold. This task is on the verge of completion. Following this, I will not impose upon you again. For a brief instant, the steadiness of his voice faltered, exposing a trace of fragility. Observing his efforts to escape this predicament ignited a thrilling sensation within me. A deep yearning stirred within, a fervor that had slumbered for an eternity. The atmosphere was laden with unvoiced longings, and I couldn't help but ponder the duration of this captivating tension. We found ourselves at the edge, the decision of who would boldly step over that fragile boundary resting entirely upon us. As Leo leaned in to adjust the nozzle, I found myself elegantly propped against the closet, entranced by the sight of him. The soft material of my robe embraced my figure with each elegant motion, accentuating a stance that was irresistibly captivating. Leo masked his indifference, but the slight tremor of his hands revealed a more profound conflict within. It was evident that he wasn't opposing me, instead, he was wrestling with his own yearnings. "Are you absolutely sure you understand exactly what you're doing?" I asked, a whimsical note twinkling in my tone. Leo maintained his concentration on the task at hand, but an unmistakable quickening of his breath suggested a deeper agitation lurking just beneath the surface. He responded effortlessly, his voice tinged with a touch of curiosity. "This is bread consumed. Is it really so?" "It's Julia," I whispered, leaning in ever so slightly closer. "So, what causes it to fail once more every couple of days?" I knelt with elegance, pretending to fetch a towel from the closet, and in that moment, the fabric of my robe subtly shifted on my shoulder. In those quiet moments, a fresh courage unfurled within me. As Leo's eyes locked onto mine, the world around us appeared to stand still, if only for an ephemeral heartbeat. He quickly returned to his pursuits, an air of mystery hanging around him. Yet this time, he moved with a passion that hinted at a deep desire to bring their meeting to a swift conclusion. "There may be an unforeseen charm in the yard that is causing a stir," he observed, his lips pursed with a touch of curiosity. Yet a subtle quiver laced his voice as he sought to uphold an impression of command. "Perhaps," I whispered, permitting myself to lean once again against the closet, the atmosphere heavy with unvoiced potential. "Perhaps the dilemma resides not in the pursuit of the flawless touch." I let that sentiment hang in the air. The atmosphere became laden with a captivating stillness, and the tension within the cozy embrace of the yard intensified to a nearly exquisite degree. Leo hesitated, a palpable tension enveloping the space before he laid down his tools and rose elegantly to his feet. His movements flowed with a languid grace, while the expression on his face wavered between longing and hesitation. On one side, there lies an irresistible charm. Conversely, a longing he sought to hide. I approached him, the distance separating us shrinking to just a few centimeters. His breath danced through the air like a tantalizing whisper. "Lucille," I whispered, my voice a gentle embrace in the twilight glow. He paused for a long moment, a shared understanding forming in the space between us. Lucille's lips tightened with mounting tension. With every fleeting moment, the tension in the atmosphere intensifies. The faint tremor in Leo's figure suggested an approaching metamorphosis, a gentle change in the atmosphere that foretold fascination. The serene ambiance shifted abruptly, leaving only the sound of our breaths and heartbeats as the moment took on an unforeseen intensity. "Lucille, we truly should refrain from this indulgence," he murmured softly. Nevertheless, a quiver resonated in his voice, tinged with a whisper of defeat. "Is that truly the case?" "Julia," I whispered, inching nearer to him, "are you absolutely sure?" Leo halted, his breath catching in the crisp air. In a bold instant, he brought his lips to meet mine. The tentative brush of our lips soon transformed into a fervent embrace, mirroring the shared and intensifying desire between us. With our eyes softly closed, we held each other close, immersed in the experience. Side by side, we stepped into the house, our unspoken thoughts trailing close behind. With our fingers intertwined and hearts pounding, I sensed an exhilarating shift in our surroundings, as though time itself was accelerating. Upon crossing the threshold of the house, Leo's hand found its way to my waist, subtly steering our movements. In a fleeting instant charged with raw emotion, we drew together in a tight embrace, my mind swirling as I struggled to comprehend the depth of what I was experiencing. The instant Leo surrendered to him marked a pivotal error, an irrevocable choice that would forever alter their paths. Upon entering the room, it seemed as if the very fabric of our reality was starting to come apart at the seams. Time seemed to blur, the air charged with emotion and something unspoken as we moved together in quiet understanding. In the midst of turmoil, a storm raged within, unyielding and wild. We sat together in silence, the moment suspended in a profound stillness neither of us wished to disturb. In that ephemeral instant, it seemed as if time itself had come to a halt, wrapping them in a mesmerizing silence that concealed mysteries just out of reach. The chaos of emotions roiling inside me eluded the grasp of mere words. As I navigated through a vast expanse of limitless opportunities, I felt a sense of being unmoored. Leo embraced me firmly, my eyelids fluttering shut while I stayed aware of the world around us. "Can you draw in a breath?" I asked, a gentle smile playing on my lips as I rested my head against his chest. My hand lingered mid-air, uncertain whether to close the space between us or preserve the mystery that bound us. Each delicate change ignited a rush within me. "Indeed," Leo replied, his voice trembling with a captivating mix of confidence and charm. "I suppose that's true, but I've never encountered anything quite like this before." A silence enveloped them for a brief instant. In that ephemeral instant, Leo's breath quickened just a touch, and I could not help but notice it. Is that truly the case? The warmth of my lips eclipsed his own, a gentle glow that lingered in the air. "What shall our next course of action be?" "Lucille, I can't say for certain, but it appears that all of this was as complex as it was fair," he murmured, his fingers softly threading through my hair. "Yet, one truth remains undeniable. Your presence beside me in this moment eclipses all else." In a moment that felt both eternal and ephemeral, I lost all awareness of time's relentless march. My thoughts swirled in a mist, both fleeting and captivating. In the midst of the captivating scene, a wave of clarity surged through me, prompting a deep reflection on whether this was merely a transient whim or a revelation of greater significance. What rationale can we provide for this? It revolves around the art of component placement, I responded, a mischievous smile playing at the corners of my mouth. Leo's eyes held mine, a blend of hesitation intertwined with a palpable desire. "I believe the need for explanation is unnecessary," he murmured, a trace of curiosity lacing his tone. "There are moments when some issues are more suitably cloaked in enigma." We cocooned ourselves beneath the sheets, enveloped in a realm crafted just for us. Our breaths mingled, caught in the magic of the instant. Yet a question hung alluringly in my thoughts. Was this simply a momentary whim, or might it herald the beginning of something truly captivating? As I peered intently into Leo's eyes, I asked, "How does this come to an end?" "Leo, have you not contemplated it?" He hesitated briefly, lost in thought, before taking a deep breath. "We'll contemplate it later," he whispered, his fingers softly threading through my hair. "At this precise instant, let us relish the exquisite charm of the present." A tempest of feelings swirled inside me, yet one truth stood resolute. That moment surpassed every other. This evening, this moment is ours alone. And no matter what happens, it will be forever imprinted in our minds. Then arrived the stillness, a stillness that provided an opportunity to comprehend more than merely the past. More than the future, more than anything else, should you have traveled this distance. It is evident that the narrative has ensnared your soul. A tapestry of intrigue awaits, and you will undoubtedly wish to savor every moment of it. Do remember to hit that follow button, turn on those notifications, and share your reflections on this captivating tale. I am genuinely looking forward to your thoughts. So let us engage in a charming dialogue in the comments.